It's the first trading day of the week. Good evening. My name is Sandra Esenamapeno and I'm here for business. We begin with our stories tonight, and tariff on both domestic and industrial gas supply is likely to go up from March this year. This is due to government's decision to restrict gas supply from the Jubilee field as a result of the coming on stream of gas from the ENI field. Commercial Director of Ghana Gas, George Ajay, is calling for an intervention in the regulation and pricing to cushion the company and consumers. Here's Ebenezer Sabote's report.
The Sankofa gas produced by Italian oil company ENI is expected to come on stream from March 2019 to produce associate gas to the Ghana Gas Company for processing to be used by the power-producing company Karpowership plant. The higher price of gas produced by ENI is as a result of the processes associated with the refining, which is part of an agreement signed between ENI and the government of Ghana. Speaking at a workshop on gas price formation by Imani Africa, Commercial Director at Ghana Gas, George Ajay, indicated that the gas price of $7.5 per standard cubic feet of gas transported will make the gas higher than the price Ghana is currently getting from a Jubilee field.
We have been told to restrict transportation of Jubilee gas because of the ENI take-or-pay liability regime. So we have been told to move about 120 million standard cubic feet of ENI gas in 2019. Therefore, we will move less and less of the cheaper Jubilee gas. So, in effect, once you restrict the movement of the cheaper Jubilee gas and you have to move more of the expensive ENI gas, the end customer is going to see higher prices of gas from 2019.
Energy economist and senior fellow at Imani, Dr. Theo Echampong, believes even though the agreement has already been initiated, government can intervene to get the price down.
There may be an opportunity for the price to go slightly further down because of the indexation and then the linkages to oil prices, or the linkages to even to inflation, in the pricing mechanism. That's in the future, but as we speak currently, the price has actually come down quite substantially by a factor of about $2.
Most participants at the workshop raised concern about the number of regulators in Ghana's gas market. Ebenezer Sabote's report for Joy Business.
Meanwhile, the Volta River Authority has cautioned they will not subsidize the cost of power production should government decide to use gas from Sankofa Ginyame field. Dr. Isaac Doku, is the director actually of commercial department of the Ghana of the VRA, I must say.
You can't, if you buy at X and you generate, you got to sell it at Y. You can't, I would say, subsidize. So that will not be sustainable, and I believe that is why we are where we are in the industry today, because we've tried to subsidize through various means. And so the true cost is not being passed down to the consumer. It may be difficult in the initial instance, but I think that if we allow market forces to actually play out, it will even out itself. We've been tinkering with prices here and there, and at times we end up distorting the real market. So I'll say no, there's no way VRA can cushion the price for anyone. If we go into negotiate, we're going into negotiate because we're thinking about at what price can we sell the electricity. And therefore, we need to negotiate and negotiate hard, because then our electricity prices can be competitive and we can be able to sell it on.
Away from power-related issues, the Aquaculture for Food and Jobs program under the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture has commenced. The ministry today brought the Jamestown Camp Prison Fish Pond into life after introducing new fingerlings to it. Charles Aite was there and has the rest of the story.
The choice for James Camp Prison's fish farm was to complement government's effort to introduce fish farming as a vocation for the 300 inmates at the facility. In all, 150 sacks of fish feed were donated to the farm and 3,000 fingerlings introduced to the fish pond. Sector Minister Elizabeth Afolekwe explained the motive behind this move.
Today we are starting with the James Camp Prison. Okay. Other institutions like the police service, we are liaising with a lot of institutions to produce aquaculture within those institutions. And also as part of the Aquaculture for Food and Jobs program, we are setting up the youth. It's really a youth-oriented program. Okay. We want to set some youth up in aquaculture production. We want to start some farms for these youth.
In terms of the investment capital the government is injecting to this initiative?
We are injecting over 10 million Ghana cedis.
This program follows growing concerns over Ghana's depleting fish stock. Currently, Ghana consumes over 950,000 metric tons of fish annually, currently importing over 60% of its fish, and in 2016 imported $135 million worth of fish because of the reduction in the country's fish stock.
Government has finalized some programs and strategies that will aid the smooth exit of the IMF program. The said measures were considered at the maiden meeting by the reconstituted Economic and Policy Coordinating Committee put together by the government. George Uafe has the rest of the story.
In October 2018, the fund forecasted 3.7% growth in both 2019 and 2020, before worrying signs of weakness appeared, particularly in the euro area. It also warned that the global expansion has weakened due to softer momentum in several economies, including Germany following the introduction of a new automobile fuel emission standards, and Italy, where concerns about sovereign and financial risks have weighed on domestic demand. Germany's growth this year is projected at just 1.3% from 1.9% expected 3 months ago. Italy's projected growth rate in 2019 has also been lowered from 1% to just 0.6%. The UK is expected to expand by 1.5% this year, up from 1.4% in 2018 and by 1.6% in 2020.
In our local wrap tonight, government suspends tax stamp policy on textile. Let's go for the details.
General Secretary for the Federation of Labour, Abraham Compson, has kicked against government's decision to use private funds under the Ghana Amalgamated Trust (GATT) to fund undercapitalized banks. The Ghana Amalgamated Trust was introduced by the Ministry of Finance to support well-run but undercapitalized banks to meet the new minimum capital requirement as part of the banking sector cleanup. Government has suspended plans to begin the implementation of the tax stamp policy for the textile industry, which is slated for this month. The move is to ensure additional security features are added to the stamp. Government revealed last year of its plans to extend the tax stamp policy to textiles in order to curb smuggling of the product in the country and to increase jobs in the sector. The Adorna market has reopened for business after its closure last Friday due to a fire outbreak. According to the Director General for the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Eric Nanajiman Prempe, the closure of the market was to enable a smooth flow of investigations into the root cause of the fire outbreak.
All right, that's all for business for now. I'll be back with more in our second half.